What's good, everybody? Ash here from CloserX, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to basically set up these voice AI called workflows, which are for 8 follow-ups and fully automatic callback features, appointment reminders, no-show assistance, and all of that basically on autopilot. That's what we call it. So without wasting any more time, let's just dive into the video and see how to deal with them. Okay, so as you can see, guys, we are already on our GoHighLevels page. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you the workflows which are inside of the folder called Voice AI. So let's just open up the Voice AI folder, which I also promise you guys this is going to be in the next video. So here you can see a bunch of different workflows here, such as the AI caller call log, the appointment reminder for basically it's called the 5th assistant, doesn't really matter what's it called, the assignee assistant, the assistant management, the first call trigger, the error in booking, basically notification or whatever you call it. It's just for the sake of error handling. It was also for our previous systems, but it doesn't really matter. We have the multi-step AI caller, which does the basically 8 follow-ups on autopilot. We have the callback assistant, which someone asks for callback, then they're gonna trigger this callback feature. Then we have the no-show assistant, and everything is just self-explained here. So let me tell you the most essential workflows in here. So basically, starting from the assignee assistant, which is the first assistant, actually workflow I'm talking about here. Don't mix it up, guys. When I'm talking about assistant in here, I'm talking about the workflows because the namings are in this way because we did it in this way. So yeah, basically the first workflow assistant, let's call it that way, in here, which gets initiated with the contact, is going to be this one. So as soon as you, for example, add a particular tag or something like that to your client, it's going to enter this workflow, and according to this workflow, it's going to go to the sub workflows. That's what we call it. Because let me actually do a visualized mind map for you on how this works. So here's Microsoft Paint. We're getting down to earth, simple as that. So the assignee assistant workflow, a contact is going to enter here. Sorry for a bad drawing, by the way. So basically the contact is going to first get tagged. So it's going to get into the assignee assistant workflow. According to what tag was added, what was the situation, it's going to get to basically multiple different sub workflows. So here could be the first agent, here could be the second agent, or even it could be the 5th agent. So for example, if I told you previously, I believe I did, the 5th assistant was the appointment reminder assistant. Let me actually just show it back to you so you can see appointment reminder 5th AI caller assistant. And here we have the second assistant, which is also the callback feature, right? The callback assistant. And also the first assistant is only for the default follow-ups. So it's either going to be, boom, it's now freeze out. So let me just grab it again. Let me see what happened. I believe I double clicked on something and now we're inside of a workflow. Yeah, we did. Okay, let's get back. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so as you can see, the first AI caller is either this one, which means that the call is the first call. So it's the first time the contact is inside of our workflows. Or maybe they haven't, for example, picked up on the first call, or they went to a voicemail or something like that. They weren't available. So they went to the multi-step first AI caller assistant. The difference between these two, basically multi-step first AI caller and first call of multi-step, is basically that this only does the job of the first call and this does the follow-ups. So that's the whole thing. Okay, so getting back to the whole thing, it's basically gonna be like that. And after we get an outcome of each call, the outcome of the call is gonna get back to the workflow call. Let me actually write this down for you guys. So this was the how did they even spell that? Assignee with double S. Okay, so this was basically the assignee, okay, with double E. Sorry for the bad English. Okay, so this was for the assignee workflow or assistant, right? And this workflow is gonna be the opportunity status workflow. Very good handwriting right there. You have to give me a compliment right there. Okay, so yeah, this is after the call ends, but according to what happened on the call, the contact is going to enter this workflow, and basically it's going to update the CRM, and what's going to be happening next is dependent on the outcome of the call, which is getting updated from the voice software, which is CloserX. So yeah, let's just say that the contact comes here, and then according to what happened, it's just going to fall back into the same loop until we get some results, or just something happens, or even let's say someone is not even picking up, so the 8 calls are going to be ending, and then we just save them in the CRM just for later data reach out, or anything you call it. Okay, so that's basically the whole thing if I'm going to draw it down for you. So let me just close this tab right here and basically get back to GoHighLevel. So as you guys can see, let me just grab something real quick right here. Okay, so basically, as you guys can see, let's open this workflow right here. I'm just gonna quickly explain how to set this up. So this workflow is gonna be looking something like this as soon as you import the snapshot of voice AI to your sub account. So you see that we have 5 different triggers and 5 different assistants, which the 5th one was the appointment reminder. So that makes sense, right? It's also capable of creating multiple different kinds of agents. We have basically added the capability of this, but it's just up to you. So it's just dependent on your creativity. If you're looking for something like that, then you can proceed creating different multiple assistants. So the no-show assistant is based on this trigger. So whenever the basically admin of your CRM or even yourself changes the status of the appointment of any lead to a no-show, this is going to trigger the no-show assistant. The callback is getting updated from the basically voice software. So here's one thing that you have to change right now. So this voice flow was basically for our previous system, which used to do set of automations, which was updating custom fields on GoHighLevel. So if you don't know what custom fields are, let's say a client has a first name on GoHighLevel, right? So let me actually get back to here. So let's say a client has a field, a simple field called first name, last name, or email address, or phone number, or basically address, street address, anything like that. So that's called the default field. It's already existing in the CRM. You don't have to add it yourself. But what are custom fields? If you don't know, custom fields are fields that you add yourself. So maybe you want to add a custom field called, I don't know, let's say square footage of lead's house. So let's say you're working in the real estate industry and you want to add a basically custom field. So each client is gonna have this field called square footage of their house, right? So that's a custom field. Okay, so moving back to what I was explaining to you guys, in our previous system we used to update custom fields, but now we made it even simpler. So as soon as the call ends on our software, the client is going to get tagged accordingly. So instead of updating any custom field, we are going to tag the client post call. And as you can see, we also have a video on that about the post call analysis tag. You can go ahead and watch that. It's going to be exactly the 3 or 4 videos behind this one, basically. So I'm also going to tell you how to do such a thing. Okay, so now here are a couple of changes that you have to do in order to make this work. So as you can see, this one is all right. If someone puts an appointment status of a lead onto no show, then this should be working fine. But for example, here for the callback feature, you see it's basically a custom field. It's a custom field called opportunity status changed, right? Which the value of this field was changing to callback whenever someone asked for a callback. But this time, this is not working in this way. So what I'm gonna do right now, you can just leave this alone. You don't have to delete it, but you're gonna add a new tag basically. So I'm gonna just create a really simple trigger right here, add tag, and let me actually name it callback tag. So here I'm gonna say tag is added whenever a tag is added. And what is that tag? So you see we don't already have the tag right here because I haven't done the post call analysis tag set up in CloserX. So first thing first, you can start with GoHighLevel, doesn't really matter, but you have to make sure they're both matching, even in here and also in GoHighLevel. So the tag that is going to be added to the client whenever someone asks for a callback is going to be callback. Oh shit. Okay, so callback. Just like this, as simple as that, right? I'm going to add the tag. It was just created, as you guys noticed, right? So make sure this is the same thing also on CloserX. I'm going to show you in a second what I'm talking about, right? So I'm going to save this tag. Okay, now you see whenever a callback tag is added, it's going to initiate this workflow. What's going to happen next? We have conditions here, and you have to be aware of this. Pay attention to me. You have to be aware of this because these conditions does not have any basically accepted condition for this new tag which we added. They're working based on these other triggers. So you also have to add this basically workflow trigger to one of the conditions here on this workflow. So you see, this is the callback assistant assignee. So this is the branch which assigns the basically lead to the callback workflow or sub workflow, the same way I explained it on Paint for guys, right? So you have to add this basically condition to this one. So you click on this. You see, for example, the condition for this one is whenever the workflow trigger is callback, which is this one. Okay, and here's what we're gonna do. Or we're gonna add this. We're gonna add an or condition. You click on or. You create a new basically segment, and then you select the trigger type, workflow trigger. You select the operator is. Okay, we don't have this here, so let me actually, you know what? Let me save this for now. Let me actually delete it. So let me save it because we want to make this show up in here. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, now it's saved. Go back here, click on or, add one, workflow trigger is. Now we can see callback tag, exactly the same as this one, you see? Let's show it up again, callback tag, this one, right? So you check this mark, and whenever a callback tag is added, the client is gonna go to this basically branch. Simple as that. So you can also see that this branch is also updating a bunch of different things. You don't really have to pay attention to what's happening here, but it's just what it is, right? Okay. So that's one thing here. So let me actually go to the next workflow. Actually, you know what? I have to tell you something else also. It's going to be the same thing for initiating a call, right? Or even an appointment status. Doesn't really matter. Mostly for initiating a call, you also have to add a new tag, but doesn't really matter. So this is our call initiator tag, whatever you call it, new lead voice AI. So whenever this tag is added to the client, they're going to go to the assistant one branch, and the call flow is just going to start for them. And as you can see, for the rest of them, we have the reactivation campaign, which triggers with the data reactivation tag. We have the appointment reminder assignee, which triggers if an appointment is booked. So you don't really have to work with tags here. And also the no-show assistant doesn't really work that way. So you just click on save and that's it. Or even if you want to customize anything else, you can just go ahead and do it. Okay, now we're safe to say that we're done with that particular workflow. Okay, so basically, I'm just going to explain you one quick thing right here, and the rest of the tutorial is going to be in the next video, guys. So let me tell you something. Now, how to get those tags again, I'm going to re-explain it, and the rest of the workflows, I'm going to explain it in the next video. So the last thing is how to add the tags, basically post-call. So let's say this is one of our clients, right? You're going to come here to the agents tab. You're going to select your agent, which is running with the campaign you're playing with. Then you're going to come here to the, let me actually close the voice settings. You're going to come here to post-call analysis tags. You're going to open it up. You're going to add new fields. Okay, so the type is going to be enum, right? The name, I'm going to call it outcome. Simple as that. So it would be outcome. The description is what's the most important part. The description is basically a prompt for an AI. So you're going to describe what does this tag do, right? I'm going to say this tag is basically, let's say, the outcome of the call based on what they say. So if it was a voicemail, then tag them as a voicemail. If it was basically a note pickup, just tag it as a not picked up call. If they ask for a callback, tag the client as callback, as I explained it to you in a minute ago. If they booked an appointment on the call, tag them as appointment booked. But this one is not necessary, but we'll still have it. If they were interested but didn't book a call, tag them as interested. If they showed disrespect, dissatisfaction, or something like that, if they wanted to opt out, tag them as not interested. So everything is going to be handled automatically in the backend. So let's move on to the next part. The description for this, I already have it ready here. So let me actually do something. I'm gonna bring it up here in the screen. You guys can take a screenshot of what does it look like. So here it is. You can just pause the video for a second and see what does it look like. How does it work? It's basically a well prompted outcome, and then do it yourself or do something similar to this. So I'm just gonna copy and paste the whole thing. I'm just gonna get rid of this, copy it and paste it. Okay, I believe I copied the wrong thing. Let's just do it again, doesn't really matter. Okay, here we have it. Okay, now choices. So what you have to do is basically explain the software what are the different choices. So I've already written here that we have 7 different outcomes. I said you're an analyzing AI assistant. I didn't know why I read that way. You're analyzing an AI assistant's call transcripts. Classify the call outcomes using only these 7 outcomes in all caps, in the exact written way with no extra signs or characters. So if you're seeing this, it's most likely because it was related to our previous software, which was updating a custom field. But this way doesn't really matter if it's all caps or with extra signs or not. We're gonna add the choices ourselves here. We're gonna define the multiple choices. So we've said we have voicemail, we have not pickup, we have warm not interested, we have not interested, callback, and meeting booked. So these 7 outcomes are gonna be the tags for you. I'm gonna add the tags as simple as that. So voicemail, let me actually just type it myself. Actually, matter of fact, you don't have to put them all caps, as I said, because they're tags. And if you are already familiar with GoHighLevel, tags are only in small letters, so it doesn't really matter. So one of the possible outcomes is voicemail. The other one is not pick up. The other one is interested. Okay. The other one is not interested, right? Actually copy this. The other one is warm not interested, which we've defined here in the prompt. Keep in mind we have defined all of this, and I'm just setting up the path for the AI so it could be able to select them. The other one is callback, which I told you to make sure it looks like exactly the same way it does here, right? Okay, so let's go back here, callback. And last but not least, meeting booked. That's it. That's about it. You actually add the choice and you save it. So whenever a call is going to happen, it's going to update you accordingly, and that's about it. So you know what? I'm going to drop myself a test call right here, and let's see what happens next. So I'm going to come here. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you the workflow history. That's about it. Okay, just give me 1 second right here. 1 quick second. Okay, here we are in the workflow. So you see in the history is empty right now. Okay, so I'm gonna drop myself a test call and let's see what happens. So here's my number. I'm gonna drop myself a call. Let's see what happens. I hope that you guys are gonna listen to the call. I'm not really sure if it's gonna work or not. Okay, I'm not even getting the call. Let me just refresh my tab right here. Let's see what happens. Just give me 1 quick second. Okay, let me actually re-trigger the call and see what happens. Okay, it looks like we got the call. We received the call. I'm not really sure why we cannot hear this, but let me actually check something. I'm gonna pick up the
Or actually, you know what? I'm not gonna pick up the call because I cannot listen to it. Doesn't
Don't really know why it's like that. It's probably something with my system. So I'm just gonna pause the video real quick. I'm sorry if you see a cutoff here. So let me just handle this real quick. Just give me 1 second. Okay, here we are back again. So I hope I can hear the sound of the call this time, because I wasn't able to listen to the call in the previous attempt. So let me just get back to the calls. Initiate a call. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we are. I can listen to it also. I'm not really sure if you guys listen, hear the voice. Okay.
Hello, is this Ash?
Yeah, can you call me back in 5 minutes? I don't have time right now. It's urgent. Thank you.
Sure, I'll give you a call back later. Thanks for your time and have a great day.
Thank you. Goodbye. Ended up the call himself. That's a really good assistant right there. Okay, so let's get back to the workflow that I was just talking about. Here we are. Okay, you see we have nothing here, so let's see what happened now. Nothing yet. We just have to wait for the update to happen, most likely. Or it could be one possible thing, just assuming it, right? It could be because I dropped the test call and maybe it doesn't work with test calls. I'm not really sure. But if it was a client, then the client was going to get tagged accordingly after the call ended. So actually, you know what? Let's just refresh this. As you can see here, it says the outcome was callback. Okay, so here is basically okay. But it's most likely not updated yet on the CRM. So let's check it again. Still not updated. Doesn't really matter. Okay, it's most likely because it was a new number to the CRM. So maybe it's even creating the contact. So it doesn't really matter again. Okay, I believe I found the issue right now here. So it's exactly because it was a test call from the CRM. But let me put it in this way. So it was just for a sample. You guys can see that the outcome of the call was callback. So if you launch your campaigns from GoHighLevel using the API request of the campaign, what's going to happen next is that this is going to also get updated on GoHighLevel. So that's about it. No more explanation. But stay tuned, guys. You need to watch the next 2 videos in case you want to understand the flow of this 8 call step follow-up for AI calling, because I haven't explained it fully in here, but you have to check the other video in case you want to understand how this works, because there are plenty of different things I have to explain to you in case you want to make this work around. So that's about it, guys. I'm not going to waste any of more time. 22 minutes. Boom. That's really good. Okay, so yeah, basically that's about it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time, as I said right now. Don't know really. I'm not really sure why I'm repeating that twice. So thank you for watching the video. And also don't forget to get yourself a free account with the link below of CloserX. We're going to be able to get yourself a 7-day free trial. If you are new to the software, you can go check it out. The link is down below in the description. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Peace out for now.